Lakeside Speedway, and it's going to be Father's Day coming up here real soon. And I'm here with Tom Charles, veteran race car driver from around the Kansas City area. Tom, what, 300 victories so far?
340 somewhere in there. I don't know. We haven't been keeping a close count lately, but
it's up there, whatever it is.
It's up there. I've been pretty lucky over the years.
Yeah. How many years have you been driving, Tom?
I drove for the first time in '75. I was still in high school. Didn't take me long to figure out I needed to learn a lot. So I took a couple seasons and kind of helped a guide. In '78, I started full time. Been racing ever since.
You know, we're coming at this tonight kind of from both sides because you are not only a racer, but you're also Danny Charles's dad.
Yeah.
2009 point champion here at Lakeside, and you are the defending points champion for 2010, and you aren't racing here this year. Now, could you give me a little explanation of why that is?
Well, I've raced enough over the years that I don't, you know, at some point you just kind of got to say, okay, I don't really have anything to prove. And there's been some things about racing here the last few years that have just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And I told my crew last year, I said, I'd really like to win this championship. If we can stick it out and pull it off, I think I'm going to take a break for a while. That's not to say that I won't race here again. As a matter of fact, I'm considering running a few specials here, and we've got some friends coming in town. They want to see me race, so I will run here some, but I really needed to get away, and Thunder Hill went back to running IMCA. I love IMCA, so we're kind of trying to get back into that, and that's where I've been on Saturday night.
That's what I was going to mention. You still are racing. It isn't, you haven't retired.
No.
You're just not racing at Lakeside. Let me ask you this. Part of that too, is it expensive running here?
It is. I mean, everybody knows the economy has gotten really bad. I lost a pretty good sponsor last year due to the economy, and we haven't had much luck with, you know, going out and finding new sponsors, so the money's been tight. I mean, my wife and I, we do all we can do. I've got some good crew guys. They donate. I mean, I've got a guy building motors in the shop. We save everywhere we can save to keep doing this, but racing here is very, very expensive. I mean, you don't have to spend that kind of money, but if you don't, you go out and you get thumped on every week, you know, and it's hard to take. I mean, I'm a guy that likes to win races, so what I've done is I've channeled my energy into helping Dan. Dan has a little different attitude about racing. He doesn't go after it quite as hard and as dedicated as I did. Not that he's not a dedicated racer, but he likes to have fun, so he has a little different attitude. And I've actually been out here helping him, and I've been learning some things about, you know, just kind of backing up a little bit and just kind of enjoying the ride. Like I say, I've done this enough over the years. I've seen about everything, done about everything, experienced a lot of things, and some things I've done that I wouldn't even admit. But I've run the full gamut, and just helping Dan, that's just another thing that adds to that list of things. And it looks like I may get to help a grandson here real soon too.
That brings me kind of right up to where I was wanting to be at this time, in Danny being the racer. Now I know at one time he was kind of headed toward a rodeo career.
Oh, he was doing the rodeo. I mean, he in high school, you know, it was wrestling, it was football, and that was his thing. And then he got involved with a local arena just as a summer job, and he went from shorts with, you know, long ponytail and his shoes untied, all that stuff, you know. All of a sudden he shows up one day in Wranglers and a cowboy shirt and a cowboy hat, and we're like, what is this? And he's like, well, I'm gonna do the rodeo, and we're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, right.
Well, he sure did, and was really actually good at it. And his final year for running in the youth rodeo, he was a bull riding champion and best all around. Yeah. That's pretty awesome. He also had a son in the meantime and realized that it was time for him to make a decision. So he decided, since he hadn't gotten hurt bull riding, it was time to pull the plug on that. He kind of went the direction that I always hoped he would.
Yeah.
And so that's where we're at now.
Okay, earlier on then, before that, he really didn't show that much interest in racing. I mean, he had to be around the track and the car and everything with you.
Oh yeah, he was always there. He would film at some of the tracks. He helped at the tracks that allowed him to go in the pits. He was in the shop a lot. He just didn't want me to think that he liked racing and like that he wanted to do it.
Typical teenage
Yeah,
stuff.
I think in the back of his mind, and I didn't push him to do it. I didn't want to push him to do it. I figured if he came to it on his own, that was better, and that's exactly what he did. I think deep down inside, he knew, you know, he was going there, but he tried to make it look like he really didn't want to, but he did, and I know he's enjoyed it.
Yeah, I know you got to be having a ball with it, especially in 2009. Here we were here at Lakeside. They were taping the Dirt Nights. That's not it. I'm sorry.
Heartland Thunder.
Heartland Thunder.
Dirt Nights is a good show too, though. I like it.
They were taping Heartland Thunder, and Danny manages to pull off that championship. Had some great runs that year. Man, that had to just really tickle you and Dee, I'm sure.
Well, it was fun. I mean, we really enjoyed doing that, and you know, we caught some flack from some different racers around the country that, you know, it's like, well, you guys aren't that good. You guys, you know, blah blah blah. Well, like we've explained, it wasn't the fact we ever claimed to be better than anybody else. We were in the right place, the right time. Things came together, and we got picked for them to follow us. And then they took some of the rivals that we had, and they tried to work up a story. And I wasn't necessarily in agreement with everything they did, but it was a great show. We had a lot of fun. I wish we could still be doing it. You know, it really was fun.
It was some great video. I thoroughly enjoyed watching it on TV, and the guys, they really did a good job. Promotion, something happened on that deal, and just
there was a problem in the Discovery Channel headquarters. The guy that bought it, he ended up on the outside. Matter of fact, I think he got fired. And the new people came in, and they had their shows, and they changed everything, and they weren't even going to air our show. We found out later, and it was actually people getting on Facebook and really, you know, demanding the show that they finally did air it. And then they still kind of kicked it to the curb, but we still think it was a good show. Could have been better. I still think it could have been better, but it was fun, and I'm just very thankful we got to do it.
Okay, let's kind of get down to Danny racing here tonight. What kind of a year has it been for Danny so far?
It's really been crazy. He's had some problems. Last week he was running second in the feature, and the quick change cover backed off.
Oh my gosh!
You know, he had to drop out in the feature, the second feature, because that was a makeup feature. Second feature he's running really strong, and left rear slider come apart, car dropped down, and you know, it's been stuff like that, and I can't say it's lack of maintenance because he works hard on the car, but sometimes it just goes that way. It's kind of like when they filmed the show, I was going through that. I was having problems.
Exactly.
And every racer knows you go through those periods. You just got to hang in there. But Dan's still having fun. He's having a good time tonight. He went up and ran IMCA with us last week, had a ball. He's going to go back up tomorrow night because they do the points inverted thing, and he should start on the front row of everything. And then, of course, you probably won't see him for a couple weeks. But he's having some fun. He bought a new motorcycle, and he likes riding that. So, like I said earlier, Dan doesn't take it, you know, quite as serious as I did. He does, but yet he still likes to have a good time. And I guess I don't know, I'm just more serious. He does like to have fun.
Yeah. And
I will too, but it takes a little bit to get me wound up.
I was going to say that fun approach kind of has to get to you a little bit. Does it bother you somewhat that maybe he's not, I don't want to say as serious because I'm making it sound like he's doing something wrong, but he's not. He's just having fun.
He's having fun. You know, obviously I've known Dan a lot of years, and when he wrestled, when he played football, he was always horsing around. You know, when he'd get on the line in football, the guy on the opposite side, he always had some little remark to make, you know, and he'd get in their head, and same deal with wrestling. But I'm gonna tell you what, after the games, after the meets, after the tournaments, Dan was always the first guy with his arm around somebody. He was always the first guy to help one of the other guys, especially if somebody went down or got hurt. And Dan's got a huge heart. And as long as he always keeps his head in the right place and stays out of trouble, I got no issues. He can goof off all he wants. As long as he gets a win once in a while. I asked for one for Father's Day. Let's see what happens.
All right. I like that. We're going to follow you around a little bit here tonight and get a camera on the back of Danny's car. I think he's starting outside first row in his heat.
Yeah, because he's been running bad. He's going to start. I may, if you want to, I may walk down the infield and watch him from down there.
We'll go down there with you. We want to see how Dad does this. Now, we've talked about Tom Charles. the racer. Now we're gonna follow Tom Charles, the dad, here tonight, and just kind of see some of the emotions and stuff that go on with you as you try to be his pit man and whatever. So we'll be right behind you, Tom.
Okay, you can edit the vocals on this, right?
Yeah. Let's take a little walk around the J-Bro Motorsports hot rod that Danny Charles is going to be driving here tonight. Of course, you know, at Lakeside Speedway, this is an open class, so it's all out. Full throttle racewear, Night Stalker. When you see Danny Charles here a little bit later, you'll understand that their picture that they've got on the car. There's the Cheeseworks camera on the back. It won't be long and we'll be turning Danny Charles loose with this hot rod in his heat race.
There's kind of getting bogged down in it, especially coming over here on the floor. They're kind of getting up there and getting wide. I think the rudder's kind of a bit, but they're actually pretty good. Trying to keep it down off the top a little bit. You don't get it up too high, but you drag the frame and everything. So, is it getting rough or? A little bit. It's not rough, but it's just choppy. It's that guard type dirt.
It's that get her in easy, get the car turned, easy on the gas, easy on the brake. Drive it in and let the car rotate, do its thing.
I think you can run about middle of the track. It really doesn't look too bad.
I'm starting front row out, so I should be able to get a jump and then just kind of roll with it.
Right, that means all the pressure's on you.
Oh, my ass.
I can't drive it for you, but I can sure tell you how to drive it after you're done.
I thought all this time it was Mom telling us how to drive.
She's pretty good at that.
Well, Tom, you've been around this a long time. When you see Danny pull out on the tractor like that, do you still have any reservations or anything in the back of your mind?
No, really, I don't. You know, life is dangerous in general. It doesn't matter whether you're driving down the street or you know, going to the lake, going swimming, boating, skiing, whatever. We all take chances. Dan's smart. He uses his head, and that's all you can ask. Anything can happen at any time. I just trust in the Lord that He'll take care of us, and I really don't worry about it. You got to live. You know, you got to live life, and that's what Dan does. Different. Is that yoke going to be okay?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. We got to figure out why it's spitting that drive shaft out.
Well, this one here, he twisted it.
Right, but why?
looked like it was loose.
Really?
Let me ask you this, the track's really kind of heavy tonight, unusual for Lakeside. You think that probably would have played into it?
Well, the car's torquing pretty hard. It's a little bit rough where he was trying to run. It looks like the bottom's slicking off just a little bit, but it is, the surface isn't smooth, definitely not smooth. And they had a rain this morning, I think it's like a 1-inch rain, so there's moisture down in it. And they're kicking up all kinds of stuff out there. He was torquing it pretty good. So hopefully we'll get all the pieces back in here and it won't be a problem in the feature. If he spits out another drive shaft, he needs to pull this thing apart and start at square one, figure out what's wrong, because you shouldn't spit drive shafts out. If he's got too much pinion angle or something, you know, that's causing issues, he needs to figure out what that is.
You think it could come down to a small thing as what that clamp is that holds the U-joint in there?
It could have been. Like I say, he spit one out last week, and you know, whether or not they replaced the U-bolts, I really don't even know. I mean, they could have had something stressed or stretched. If you can afford to do it, it's always best just to toss everything, you know.
That's kind of where you're going right now, because like you say, you're going to put a new yoke and new drive shaft.
You can't always do that, and I know like us running IMCA, we kind of like reuse a lot of things just to save a few dollars, but you know, it's part of the sport. You do what you got to do. If you got the money, you fix it. If you don't, you just fix what you got. You know? And that's part of it.
Okay, I won't hold you up anymore, Tom.
Well,
I know
right.
you were supposed to bring some wrenches.
Okay, here's the drive shaft that Danny threw out. As you can see, it looks like both ends are okay. So I don't know if the clamps come loose or what. Tom says take a look at the clamps that come out of there. So we'll go take a look at them. We'll bring them up here and get you a bird's eye view. The clamps that were holding that drive shaft on, as you can see, this one over here is either broke off or has gotten bent, elongated on one end, and short on the other end. But looks like this clamp right here might have failed. Tom, how much does them little babies cost?
Yeah.
I say, how much do they cost?
Oh, those are cheap. I don't even know. I just charge them at O'Reilly's.
Oops, don't mention that.
Oh yeah, they're not real expensive. I mean,
Man, this is bad when racing comes down to $1.50, $2
it
part.
generally does. You know, if you're going to lose a big race, it's going to be because of a $2 part.
Yeah. Okay, here we go with the A main. We got Nick Newton on that, or I'm sorry, Joe Walker and Nick Newton outside. Mark Schaffman, Austin Seifert on that second row. Then it's Jason Bodenhammer and Kerry Davis as they come out for the first lap there. Joe Walker looks like he is going to jump out to the early lead with Nick Newton in that second spot. Austin Seifert in third, Kerry Davis, and Mark Schaffman running there for fourth spot. Schaffman's going to fall into that fourth place. Joe Walker on lap 2. Nick Newton, Austin Seifert, Mark Schaffman, Kerry Davis, and Cody Agler. Kerry Davis now moves into fourth spot. Kerry with a good run last week. He came up from the back of the A and finished third in that A main last week. Kerry Davis now in third spot. Move up here to Austin Seibert, and Nick Newton. And your leader, Joe Walker, as he's starting to pull out and pull away. Seibert looking to the inside. Nick Newton. Got a lap car down on the infield as they race around the lap car. Now Seibert can't hold that bottom line with the up off of where he's running there on the track. Things kind of settling down there just a little bit now. We completed 8 laps. Your leader, Joe Walker. Going to complete lap number 9 here with Walker, your leader. Nick Newton in third. Austin Seaver in third. Jerry Davis fourth. Agler and Schaffman now race for that 5th spot. Now Seaver looks like he's got the run there on the bottom side. He's going to get by Newton in that 2nd place. Is he fast enough, and does he have enough time? 15 more laps to go. Austin Seaver up into that 2nd spot. He's been having some good runs here in the area lately. Now Jerry Davis is going to dive down to the bottom. Newton, he wants 3rd spot, but not quite yet. Got 12 down now. Joe Walker now starts getting up into the back of the lap traffic here. That may slow him down just a little bit and give Seaver a chance to catch up with him. Now Seaver has to deal with the lap car. He's going to get around him pretty easy. He's closing up the ground on Joe Walker. Lap line down, 13 down, 12 to go. We're just past the halfway point. Joe in there with some lap traffic. Boy, this is letting Seaver close up right behind him. And there they are, right beside each other almost. Walker just about into a lap car. Austin Seaver right on his back bumper went through 1 and 2. Walker now gets at least 1 car in between himself and 2nd place. 16 laps down, 9 to go. So far, everything under green flag here. 1st and 2nd place now. Got a car length apart. Walker with no place to go as the 2 lap cars in front of him. Just leaves no place for him to run. He goes up onto the top side. He's going to go around both of them. On the bottom, Walker on the top. Gonna come around and complete lap 19. Now just 6 laps to go. We got one off in the grass. I don't know if it's bring out a yellow or not. Looks like Scott Bristol. He looks like he's just going to stay there and pull on around to the pit road here in the middle of the track, and he does. Going to be lap number 20 this time. Lap 20. Joe Walker still your leader. Austin Seaver in that 2nd spot. Walker now with an open track ahead of him. Plenty of time here. He can run his own line, do what he wants to, and now he's going to open up about a 5-car length lead, and we are going to get a yellow flag here. There's a car back onto the pit road way back off of the front straightaway, and he is going to pull in, and that is Danny Charles. He broke a U-joint earlier on a drive shaft, and he is going to pull her off. Well, Tom, I guess these are the kind of nights that you knew were going to happen in racing, but you never want them to happen.
Well, you know, there's just some nights that are like that. You know, we had issues with the car. I think they kind of figured that out. And we had the weather, rain come in. Of course, that changes the track conditions. That changes your setup. Everybody kind of gets into a different mode, you know. And ended up, they stuck it out, got the track work back in, made it for a real fast feature track. And Dan went out, and he was kind of, it seemed like he was just stuck there for a while. Everybody was going fast. And then all of a sudden, he just lit it up and was on his way. And I mean, he was moving, and right rear tire let go. We can live with that. He said he knew he was abusing it, and he was afraid it might not hold up. It didn't, but he put on a good show.
You know, when you have nights like this, I think also is that time when family really kind of comes into it, because and you just know you're going to have one of them sooner or later, and you got to have somebody behind you to say, hey, it's okay. You know, you went out there and did the best you could. So.
Oh yeah, he did a good job. He drove hard tonight. Like I say, they found some problems with the car. He's got a couple guys going to come over in the morning and help go through the cars at the shop. There's just been some things that have needed some attention, that have been getting neglected. I think they can handle it, get these cars where they're consistently running back up front again. He's just been kind of having a rough season so far, and he's just got to get it turned around.
Yeah. Well, like I say, that's when the family deal, I think, really comes into it.
Well, it does. I mean, we lean on each other. You know, if things are going good, we harass each other. If things are going bad, we support each other. And I mean, that's what, you know, racing's all about. It's what family's all about.
Well, Tom, all I can say is happy Father's Day, and man, I appreciate you taking your time to talk with us tonight, and thanks a lot.
Well, I enjoy doing this stuff, and you know, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, and I just hope everybody, all the families that are in racing, have as much fun as we do, because we enjoy it.
One thing else I wanted to specifically remember, I think you got a birthday coming up here in a week or so.
Oh, my wife. Yeah, it's Dee Dee's birthday, June 13th.
Yeah.
She's going to be an old woman. She's catching up with me. She's catching up with me.
I was going to say, we won't mention how old.
No, but she is almost, I got her beat by 19 days, and I call it seniority.
Thank you, Tom.
All right.
You know, Dad, this has been a really weird year, because this is my first year at Lakeside that I'm not really racing against my dad. You know, as much as I miss that, I really love the fact that I have you in the pits and in my corner. That really means a lot. You've really taught me a lot, and you know, you pump me up when I need to be pumped up. You calm me down when I need to be calmed down, and you definitely piss me off when I don't need to be pissed off. But I still love you, and I hope that we can race a lot of more years together. And every night that I race with you, I'm fortunate, and I thank God that we can have that time together, because a lot of fathers don't, and it's really special to have you here. And happy Father's Day.